Vasudeva is living here and his Krishna is living. And you yourself have come because he is a bestower of liberation. So he distributes liberation to everybody. But I cannot get it because I feel he is my son. He was only born, but he was never bred by me. Because I told him be born, so he agreed to be born. After getting born, what did he say? Take me immediately and leave me in Vrindavan. Bring the girl back. So I made a great mistake. My dear souls, never make this mistake. What? When you go and stand in front of the Lord, please don't stipulate what you want. Leave it to Him. My dear God, you are omniscient. You are omnipresent. I have nothing to do except pray or except praise you. Keep you in my heart. I am not going to say I want this, I do not want that. The decision is left to you. I am nobody to decide. You are the decider. You are the leader. You are the maker. You are the marer. You are the giver. You are the taker. So I completely resign myself before you. Never put up a list. Aham kila puranandam prajartho bhuvi muktidam abhujayam namokshaya mohito devamayaya. By virtue of a delusion that all people are suffering from. You know what I did? One part of it was right. I worshipped Lord Mahavishnu. After having worshipped him, he was present before me, ready to bestow any kind of a blessing, anything that is necessary, including liberation from the torments of the world. Abhujayam na mokshaya mohido devamayaya. But I never sought from him this liberation, that inner spiritual splendor, which will always be gracing me, with me, associated with me. I will be surrounded by that, penetrated by that. That kind of an inundation by the inner spiritual splendor, I never sought from him. That was the mistake. My son is very good. He is sought by a number of people. Even you have come to Dwaraka not to see me, but to see my son and to be spending some time in worshipping him. So I have a submission. I am not perhaps the Vasudeva that people know about. My mind is really blazing with a number of torments. Yatha vichitra vyasanad bhavadbhir vishwato bhayad muchye mahyanjasaivadha tatha nashyadi suvrata. I would like you to give me a beautiful instruction, as a result of which my mind can be appeased. My mind can be restful. It will also be in a position to have delight, rejoice, cheerfulness and contentment. From what? From where? Yatha vichitra vyasanad bhavadbhihi vishwato bhayad. Vichitra vyasanad. These are beautiful expressions of Sreemad Bhagavatam. Particularly this particular Paramahamsya Samhita. Vichitra vyasanad. This world, however much you may describe it, when it comes to be experienced in the mind level, can you tell me how much is the duration your mind is delighted, cheerful and ecstatic? And how much is the time the mind is suffering from one kind of tension, agitation or suffering itself? So the multi-pronged sufferings are there. Variously blended sufferings are there. People get married to think that family life is good. After children are born, they start growing up. Particularly after they grow up, they start suffering in the hands of their own children. Differences start cropping up. Even the best of love marriages, after some time, somebody comes and says, yes, this. Then I asked him, did you not marry in love? Yes, Swamiji, love was before marriage. But after marriage, when he started living together, we found all disparity, disharmony, conflict, confrontation. What can be done? I am ashamed to say this. Somebody was mentioning to me. So it's not as it looks. When it comes to the question of experiencing life in our mind, you will find it is suffering from a number of factors. Yatha vichitra vyasanad bhavadbhihi vishwato bhayad. The entire universe is now a forum of fear now. You know what is the fear that we are suffering from? Any one of you knows? We are heating up the earth. Global warming is taking place. The globe can be warmed up not by any other creature at all. The human population is very, very small compared to the mosquito population. So there are so many creatures in this world, 86 lakhs of kinds of creatures. All of them will not pollute the earth. They will not increase the global warmth. On the other hand, global warmth they will not increase. So far as we are concerned, we can bring about any kind of a destruction. The global warmth has been tremendous, so tremendous, that at the end of this century they say, we will have pushed the earth to a very strong precipice, a dangerous precipice. We don't know what is going to happen. And this has been brought about only by us. By the end of this century, the warmth will have increased by 2.5 degrees Celsius is what they say. It should be much less than 1 degree. This is the situation. So when we say Vishwato Bhayad, it's not enough if you have money, if you have a comfortable air-conditioned house, centrally heated one if necessary. But we must have a good air to breathe, a good water to drink, and very good healthy vegetables to eat, to digest. Now you can earn and you can have your money, but all these factors are never controllable by you. They are not depending upon you. So we are living as an individual, interacting with the entire world. Even our own individual personality is not under our control. The air we breathe is not ours. The water we drink is not ours. At the same time, we cannot avoid them. So it is actually Vishwato Bhayad. I find fear and fearfulness anywhere and everywhere. Throughout the world, he says, Mucche mahyanjasaivadha tatha nashyadhi suvrata. How shall I be freed from this fear? So I would like to be told how to live a fear-free or a fearless life. It is true that my son is Lord Krishna to many of you. But for me, he is a son and I am a father. Maybe he is distributing liberation to a number of people, all kinds of people. But so far as I am concerned, his father, my mind is actually a kind of a furnace now. I would like you to give me instructions so that my mind will be cooled, comforted, appeased, and finally it will have the joy of contentment, exhilaration and ecstasy. Shri Shuka Uvacha Rajannevam Krita Prashno Vasudevena Dhimata Pridastamaha Devarshihi Hare Samsmarido Gunai. See, when we decided to talk on Sreemad Bhagavatam, it was my decision, our decision. I don't think it was your decision. Huh? Did any one of you want it? So generally, we would like to talk on the supreme reality, the supreme intelligence, the most auspicious God. I would like to describe him as Parama Kalyana Nidhihi. What? Say that. Parama Kalyana Nidhihi. He is a treasure of supreme felicity. This is Srimad Bhagavata's word. We are all devoted to God, but we don't understand him. We don't describe him. We say, frightening God, terrible God, devouring God, God who is inaccessible, who is at infinite distance. In this way, if you describe him, will you ever become fond of him? Why don't you describe him in the best of words, in the most appropriate manner? Parama Kalyana Nidhihi. This is the description of Lord Hari, the supreme Lord of the world. That Parama Kalyana Nidhihi. We would like to speak about him. His exploits, his excellences, his beauty, his uniqueness, how charming he is, how safe it is to be in the company of Lord, how well he will protect us. Our parents may not be able to protect. Husband and wife may not be able to protect each other. Our friends also may become helpless. In all those conditions, the universal power and presence which protects the entire universe, the earth has been revolving in its own axis. It has been keeping a trajectory around the sun. For how many millennia earth has been doing this? Who is responsible for this consistency, this constantness? Are you following me? Who is responsible, you say? Even the buildings we are making are collapsing. But the earth has not collapsed so far. We are extracting so many things from the earth. The earth should be preserved. The greenery should be preserved. And we must be able to bequeath a better earth with a lot more of greenery to the succeeding generations. Are we doing it? We only to to rob and dog. Should we not be able to evolve a method of life, a way of life, a nature of life, whereby whatever resources we utilize, those resources will not be depleted? Let us use the air, let us use the water, but never deplete the earth. That is the real intelligent way of living. Let us understand the rhythm of nature, the needs of nature, the pulsations of the nature, external as well as internal, gross as well as subtle. And let us live in tune with that, never in disharmony with all these things. So this is what we should understand. So God is always Parama Kalyana Nidhi. So when Narada Maharshi has been coming to Dwaraka, at no time earlier, Vasudeva called him or invited him and finally made such a request. Now that you have submitted yourself, asking me to speak about Bhagavata Dharmas. Understand and remember this word. Bhagavata Dharmas. Bhagavan, you know. Bhagavata means the adjectival form of Bhagavan. Bhagavata Dharma means the characteristics, the behavioral and interactional traits, the type of thoughts, the type of speech, the type of actions which are characteristic of good devotees. You will find a better explanation later on. So you have asked me to tell you about Bhagavata Dharmas. Suddenly you know, Hare Samsmarido Gunaihi. By your question, I am reminded of the Supreme Lord Hari. Samsmarido Gunaihi. The qualities, the virtues and the excellences of the Supreme Lord, they come to me. They come to me. I am very happy that you have raised this question. He continues to say, Samyage dadvyavasidam bhavata sattvadarshapha yat prichase bhagavadan dharmam tvam vishwabhavanan. Samyage dadvyavasidam. He compliments Vasudeva. My dear Vasudeva, what you have done very well. I compliment you. I am very happy that you have raised this question. What have you raised? Bhavata sattvadarshapha. You are yourself one of the most blessed devotees, at least according to our assessment. You may not feel it, but we all feel, having given birth to Lord Krishna, how much fortunate you should have been as a parent. This is what we feel. Yat prichase bhagavadan dharmam tvam vishwabhavanan. You chose to ask of me, inquire from me, the Bhagavata Dharmas. What are these Bhagavata Dharmas? Vishwabhavanan. Vishwa, they are such that they will purify the entire universe. You know, when all of you are seated in this hall, I look at you and understand you as devotees of the Lord. And as a devotee, as long as devotion is there, filling your heart, filling your mind, filling all the cells of your body, you will find you are not merely purifying yourself, you are purifying the entire earth. Devotion is such a majestic, magnificent and excellent undercurrent. Vishwabhavanan. So the Bhagavata Dharmas are such that they are so sublime, so lofty, so beautiful, so holy, so austere that they will purify the entire world. He describes them further. Listen to them very carefully. Shuto anupatito dhyadaha adruto vanumodidaha. First of all, you happen to hear, go on hearing. After hearing, when you have had a little fondness and interest, start reading a copy of this Bhagavata Dharma, the Sreemad Bhagavatam or the relevant portion. Dhyadaha. Then you start reflecting upon, ruminating upon what you have heard and what you have read. Adrudaha. Have respect, adoration. As you are worshipping God, in your mind, you must have a worshipping attitude towards the Bhagavata Dharmas, the characteristics and the behavioral patterns of lofty, enlightened devotees. Anumodidaha. Even when you are able to compliment, oh, Swamiji is discussing Sreemad Bhagavatam, inner spiritual splendor, in the Chinmaya Mission auditorium for 5 days. very good. At least have a sense of compliment about it. You need not come, but even then, try to help it if you can. At least tell a few people, at least know, oh, such good things are taking place in our country. It's very good, very nice. A sense of compliment and appreciation. Even this much is sufficient. When then, sadhyaha, instantly, punadi saddharmo. This Bhagavata dharma has got such a potential, such a divine inner spiritual potential and splendor. If any one of these is done, what is that? Shruto, anupatito, dhyataha, adruto, vanumodidaha, sadhyaha, punadi, saddharmo, deva vishwadruho hihi. Vishwadruho bihi. What does it mean? There are people who doubt and who are not happy about any kind of a belief. Rationalists are there, disbelievers are there. There are people who hate the devas and other divine agencies. Even such people will be purified by this Bhagavata dharma. Sudonu patito dhyadaha adruto vanumodidaha sadyah punadi saddharmo deva vishwadruho bihi tvaya parama kalyanaha punya shravana kirtanaha. Are you hearing me? You know, whenever I read these words, you cannot imagine. I wish there is some kind of a barometer or a temperature reader which will be able to measure the joy I am having when I read these or recite these verses. Tvaya paramagalyanah punya shravana kirtanaha smarido bhagavanadya devo narayano mama. By this enquiry, Vasudeva, do you know what you have done? You have brought in me, instilled in me, the memory of Lord Narayana. To think of Lord Narayana, we are after all mortals with a very limited body, and we have made a home. We were born in a home. We got married and settled ourselves perhaps in our own chosen home. With whom we are moving, only with a few family members. Maybe you have a profession and you have a few professionals also for you as your friends. This is a very, very, very micro relationship that you have. But what about the universe born and preserved by the Supreme Lord? Look at any direction. Can you see the end of sky? At night when the stars of the sky are visible, take a look. How many stars are there? Draw a little circle and count the number of stars there. What is this universe? This universe is one of which you are a son or a daughter. So as a human being, some time or the other, should we not have the expansiveness, the kind of a persuasion, the kind of an inspiration in our mind, whereby we will be able to think, oh, my dear Lord, you have created a wonderful, endless universe. I am a puny creature in that. Let me at least think about your greatness, your glory, the endless universe I see around. So what should be the infinite potential that you have in order to generate and preserve this kind of a stupendous universe? Don't you think such a thought is very rewarding? Huh? Why are you keeping quiet? Come out of your house, look into the sky, spend 15 minutes looking at the sky. That is the best divine meditation. Not looking at an idol. The idol is very small. Already small, it becomes smaller. This is a man-made idol. Now, God-made manifestations are there. Even in Sreemad Bhagavatam, when Krishna describes the process of meditation, you know what he says? Meditate upon the four-handed form of Mahavishnu, the Shuddha Sattva Murti. And when the whole form is sufficiently established in your mind, take away your vision, attention from all the lower parts and fix it on the smiling face. Are you following me? When Susmitam Bhavayen Mukham, that beautiful smiling radiant face, that alone you fix your attention inwardly by the mind. And when the mind is fixed there, what should you do? Take it away from that. Agrishya Vyom Nidharayet. What? Engage it on the sky. Understand? You haven't heard, is it not? This is what devotional meditation is. Meditate upon your chosen deity and finally get to the smiling face, and thereafter take the mind away from the smiling face and engage it in the endless sky, the universe. This is how meditation is to be done. Now you have a mustard mind, my dear souls. A mustard mind. It is something like a very short diametered well. Make it at least a tank and a lake, preferably an ocean. And most desirably, it should be a spatial mind that you have. And man alone will be able to do it, not anybody else. Have you ever thought of a mental expansion like this? Our body completes its growth at the age of 21. The only constituents in our personality to grow are the mind and the intelligence. Mind grows by attitudes and bhavas. Intelligence grows by understanding. The understanding of the subject is far greater than the understanding of the object. Am I clear or not? Huh? The object is very limited by its nature, but the subject which perceives the object, in which all the objects are imprinted, are really the infinite and the endless. And within your body, you carry such an infinite dimension, the consciousness that you are. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravanakirtanah smarido bhagavan adya. See how fortunate I am. Who says? Narada says, I am very fortunate. I happen to come to you to spend at least a few minutes, that's all, inquire about your welfare and go. Suddenly you have received me in a traditional manner, given me a seat, given me some drinks also, and you have asked me to explain to you Bhagavata dharmas, so that your mind will be liberated, you say. And Krishna's father is asking me. And by this enquiry, Tvaya, by you, Paramakalyanah. What is God? When your children ask, what is God? Tell them, God is supremely felicitous. He is supreme felicity. 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 He is the most supreme auspiciousness. The real description will be, He is supreme intelligence. That is the right description. Paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanaha. Punyashravana kirtanaha. What does it mean? Punyashravana kirtanaha. Whenever you hear the name of God, there are so many names. Any name can be of God. Because whatever you name, it comes from the mouth. And you have a certain idea. All the ideas are begotten from the world. The world itself is His gross body, gross expression. So all the names are actually suggestive of the Lord. But you don't understand it so. So you have separated between godly names and worldly names. Tvaya paramakalyanah punyashravana kirtanaha. God is such that His names, when they are repeated, when they are sung, and kirtans, songs and hymns on Him, when they are recited, when they are sung, they are all very, very holy, very purifying, very sublimating. They enrich the mind and the heart greatly in an abundant manner. They take away the poverty of the mind, the constriction of the mind, the delusion and the darkness of the intelligence. And with every word properly uttered, sung, with every kirtana properly sung, it will expand, bring expansion, instill expansion in you. Punyashravana kirtanaha smarido bhagavan adya. You have reminded me of such a supreme Lord. Devo Narayano Mama. The supreme Lord Narayana has been brought to my mind by your enquiry. Atrapyudaharandimam idihasam puradanam arshabhanam cha samvadam videhasya mahatmanaha. Now Narada says, you know your enquiry. Suddenly, an old idihasa means what? A kind of narration. That narration was prevalent before Narada. And whoever told Narada, it was prevalent before that. The word Purana means the most ancient. And ultimately the most ancient is the very soul. Nothing else can be so ancient as that. So in all our Puranas you will find instances. It is actually a record of the human mind's behavior, thought process, action, reaction, interactional impacts, and the story of the human mind. That is why it is called an idihasa. So there is an idihasa. Atra pyudaharandimam. I will exemplify, I will illustrate an answer for you, a clarification for you with this idihasa. Idihasam puradanam, it is very old. Arshabhanam cha samvadam videhasya mahatmanaha. After all, you are Vasudeva, belonging to a royal lineage. So I will recount for you a dialogue that transpired between Emperor Nimi and Nava yogis, 9 yogis, he said. Arshabhanam cha samvadam. Who is this Arshabhanam? Not necessary to say, but still I will tell you. Swayambhu Manu's first son is called Priyavrata. Priyavrata's son is Agnidhra. Agnidhra's son is Nabhi. Nabhi's son is Rishabha. This Rishabha Deva was particularly divine, particularly spiritual. He was considered to have been born with an Amsha of Mahavishnu. People used to call him Rishabha Deva. He was a king. He ruled the land for a while. Ultimately, he called all the children, gave a beautiful dharmic sermon there. After giving the sermon, are you hearing me? He stripped himself completely naked, became an avadhuta and started walking. Went out. Sreemad Bhagavatam describes the manner in which he spent his life, and ultimately he left the body in the fire that emanated in the Coorg forest in South India. He chose to become an avadhuta. Till then he spoke to the children very affectionately, giving them a beautiful sermon on values of life, perceptions of life, practices of life, disciplines and restraints of life. After having explained, when all people were looking on, suddenly he became an avadhuta and started wandering in the country.